James's album, Some Kind of Trouble, is out on Monday. Fab song. My final guest tonight shot to fame as the Russian spy Ilya Kuryakin in the iconic 60s TV series The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Star turns in The Great Escape, Sapphire and Steel, Cold It, and the hit American drama NCIS followed. He's celebrating almost 50 years in the acting business. Here's why.
You fill these bags with the dirt from the tunnel. Then, wearing them inside your trousers, out come the pin. Unless you're a complete fool, the ferrets will never see a thing.
Which side of the bed would you prefer?
There's no other way?
Not now, no.
There is a procedure Abby could use to lift the fingerprints off these bruises. It's prohibitively expensive and rarely works.
So I was getting married. Please welcome David McCallum. Good day, David. That's the hardest. David, I think if you get gold stars for durability, you're a four-star general.
It's not 50 years. I joined Equity in 46.
Good heavens.
I am an old man, actually.
Old man. 46?
46, yes.
Heavens above.
And it's an extraordinary career. I mean, seeing Honor and meeting Honor, last time I saw it was in 1958, kind of reminds you of things, then seeing the book, and then thinking of doing Mother Love with Diana Rigg. You know, they all kind of connect in a wonderful way.
So, I've got to be rude and ask you, if you joined Equity in 46, how old are you now?
I'm 77.
Heavens above. And still got the hair.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, it's real, there's no joy. So, NCIS, I mean, did it come as a surprise to be offered that?
Yes, I was doing an off-Broadway play with James Dale, and called Comedians, which is a wonderful, wonderful play. And they don't pay you a great deal off-Broadway, and I had just had my 70th birthday, and I was thinking, do you really want to go on doing this kind of thing?
Was this Peggy Lee moment? Is that all?
Yeah, it's all that moment. And I got a piece of paper that said this guy called Ducky, and I read it, and I went over and I put it on tape. Then I went to California and auditioned for CBS, and then I went and auditioned for Paramount, and I got the job. I mean, just amazing.
Having a good time?
And we're in our 8th year.
Gosh.
It's really, well, what is so wonderful for me is that just the acting side of it is fabulous. But I also get to work with the coroner and study pathology for 7 years. And of course, everybody kids me now because I got kind of obsessed about it. My wife, Catherine, says that, you know, I have 2 yards of death books and all of this, but it is a fascinating and wonderful study.
Could you conduct an autopsy now, then, do you think?
Well, no, because there are 2 sides to it. There's the cutting and chipping and all that. And then there's, once you've done that, you then have the actual samples, and then you have to know how to deal with it. I mean, and particularly pathology now is, you know, it starts with 1 cell, a death, and they do all these wonderful forensics.
Complex. Going back a bit and looking at The Man from U.N.C.L.E., I mean, was that as much fun to make as we had watching it? You and Robert Vaughan doing that?
And extraordinarily similar to doing NCIS, because we had wonderful people to work with, an incredible group of writers, as we have now. So I've just been very lucky. I mean, I have 2 shows in the top 10 in one lifetime is the icing on the cake. And also working with Joe on Sapphire and Steel, as you mentioned just now. I mean, there are so many people in this business that are just wonderful, and I seem to have met a great many of them.
There are things about you that I didn't know. I mean, I did know that your father, David McCallum, was the famous violinist, orchestra leader. I didn't know that you were musical, because, I mean, do you...
Well, I you know, my father looked around when I was about 6 years old and said, what do we need in the way of musicians? And saw that there was a shortage of oboe players, and so he said, you have to learn the oboe. It didn't really make a lot of sense, because by the time I would be old enough, there might be an awful lot of oboe players. But I studied the oboe, and I had one day when they put me up in the senior orchestra of the Royal Academy of Music, and I decided right then that I would never be good enough.
That was it.
And at that time, I'd been doing a lot of amateur theatre, you know, and in churches and nativity plays and things. And I played the Prince in King John, the Shakespeare play, at the local institute. And at the end of it, before the guy was going to put my eyes out with a hot iron, and I pleaded, a little blonde kid. And at the end of it, I got a standing ovation. And I thought, who needs homework?
Your
Who needs
famous
this?
scene.
I'm home. This is it. And I've been there ever since.
Working with Honor on The Night to Remember was one of the Titanic movies, about the first
Yeah.
Titanic movie, wasn't it?
Well, my great memory of that was driving out to Pinewood in my little red Austin that I had, and coming around the corner at the back of the lot, and the ship, the whole section of the ship, at an angle was on the skyline, fully lit. And it was just a magical moment.
Glamorous filming that, or cold?
I don't know. All of filming and all of working in this business is glamorous, but at the same time, you're getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you're having a quick cup of coffee, you're driving to work and getting there and getting home at 8 o'clock at night, and there's a lot of hanging about, waiting.
Well, you keep hanging about and waiting for us, because we'll hang about and wait and watch you. It's been a great pleasure to talk to you. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you
David
so much.
McCallum. Thank you, David. That's it for tonight. Tomorrow, former Strictly winner Tom Chambers is here. Actress Philippa Law celebrates the Magic Roundabout with us. The Saturdays perform their new single, and Ainsley Harriott will be getting to grips with the sausage. We'll see you tomorrow at 5. Bye-bye.